Name's Ingemar Hunnings, and I'm lead consultant at Hunnings Consultancy. This is a brief video really focusing on the legal aid agency's requirement now for firms receiving funding from the legal aid agency, particularly with regard to criminal work, but I expect it also to extend to civil legal aid work pretty soon. Their requirement then for you to have Cyber Essentials accreditation, but also to make sure that you're compliant with the data protection legislation and regulation. So this is something that is going to mean that lots of law firms are going to have to raise their game with regard to this. So I'm going to share my screen just to take you through what they're saying. I have put this onto our website. Here you can see the URL at the top, Hunnings Consultancy, and it's a very recent blog on this. And what we've done is we've listed the mandatory things and what policies need to be brought in and be compliant by the firm. There's also a link through to the actual announcement document from the legal aid agency. Here we go. There's that. Now, I am pretty certain that this has arisen because of the big data breach earlier this year. This is 2025, October, when I'm recording this, which probably meant that someone had a good review and said, goodness me, guys, you are an organ of the government. Therefore, you have certain obligations to make sure that those people who are receiving payment via you are compliant. Okay. So you'll see therefore, down here a list of the requirements. So this is something that is relevant from sort of criminal law firms from October 2025. Okay. Now, just to take you through this, mandatory things is Cyber Essentials accreditation. Now, we don't provide that accreditation ourselves, but we can put you in touch with someone who we trust who can do this and take you through this and help you with this. Other things that you need to do is register with the ICO as a data controller, appoint a data protection supervisor or a data protection officer. Now, this is a service that we provide as an external, part-time data protection officer. So if that is something that would help you, then please give us a shout. You've got to have in place compliant policies, which we'll run through in a moment down here. Training your staff on data protection obligations, both for new people, but also ensure that current staff receive annual training. So there's a proper plan for that. Now, on that particular point, I put a link into it here, but we have started to run online courses. They're short on purpose, between 10 minutes and half an hour, so that it doesn't chew out the whole of your day. These are the 4 key areas of legislation, which you can do individually for quite low prices, or you can run as a pack of 4, so a slight discount there to that. And you can see it just pushes through. You can buy, and those are the courses on the 3 core areas, 3 core pieces of legislation and regulation. So you can run those from there. We will be doing other areas in due course, but there we go. We have in here, you've got to review at least annually your data protection information security policies. You've got to conduct data protection impact assessments where appropriate of any new systems or projects. Okay. So again, we can help with this. You should be undertaking staff screening to ensure their reliability. You've got to maintain access records. Who has access to personal data with audit trails, okay? Maintain adequate physical security of premises, housing personal data, so people can't break in and steal the data. Implement controlled disposal of records, and have, as I said, cybersecurity accreditation. Now, the policies that you need to have, a business continuity plan. That's actually just good, sensible stuff to have. A disaster recovery plan. Any firms that were operating during COVID, then suddenly this became really, really relevant. An incident management policy, so data breach, this sort of thing. An information risk management policy, data protection compliance policy, IT security, including an acceptable use policy. So you've got to have compliance with the government security classification system and a remote home working policy as well. Okay, that's what is mandatory. You'll see there are also recommended ones as well. You know that the LAA are likely to be checking this when they do their audits. So it is important for you to get your house in order with regard to this if you want to keep your legal aid contract. So, as I said, please feel free to get in touch if you feel you need some help. We have experts in this area. They're both data protection officers and a team of two, and they do provide DPO services as externals for the number of hours you might need per month. So there we go. And they can also help with anything around the data protection compliance area, interaction with the ICO, SRA, SAR, subject access requests, etc., data breaches, and what have you. So I hope that's of help, and look forward to hearing from you if you have any inquiries, and I wish you all the best.